You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Folks, listen up. Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football's a we thing, an experience that is best joined together with good drinks and good folks. Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is the official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, there are more opportunities to watch football and make delicious Smirnoff cocktails than ever before over the holiday season. From Thanksgiving to Black Friday and Christmas, Smirnoff and the NFL are with you every step of the way. So this holiday season, when you're enjoying the game and your cocktails, please make sure you drink responsibly. Take a minute, make a plan, never drive impaired. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff, #21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
During the break, an indignant Greg Cote, when I was saying, I'm going to call Earleen, I'm going to call her. He's like, do it. Go ahead.
Yep.
I look forward to it. And I'm like, last time you did this on your podcast, next thing you know, you're losing something about your shit hygiene in the bathroom. You thought it was going to go one way with Earleen, and it ended up going another way. But he was very indignant and confident during the break. And then his wife's lovely face comes up on the television in here, and he blurted like this. I'm not even kidding you. Oh, no. Because
That's what he says whenever he sees me. That's what he says.
Well, because you're a trained assassin whose job it is to bury him, and he knows it.
That's correct.
And all I want is factual answers to my questions. So the first question I would ask you, Earleen, is yes or no, your husband is a fan of the Dolphins?
Yes.
He's so mad at me right now. Yes.
I don't think we have any more questions.
I have plenty of questions. She knows I grew up a Dolphins fan. What is she supposed to say to that question?
Tell us, let's lighten the mood a little bit. Tell us about your husband's bad arm week.
Oh, yeah. It's Charlie's fault. But my favorite part is when I explained to him that blood thinners do that to everyone. He said, well, maybe I'll just stop taking that pill. And I'm like, that's not really the solution, I don't think.
Your husband yesterday identified as a hypochondriac. And me and your son were like, no, you hate asking and going to see doctors. Like, we have to push you.
Well, he rejects whatever they say. He wants to have his own best idea. I could go on this, but it's better not.
I'd like you to go on the other one, though. On Sundays, is your husband rooting for the Dolphins to win?
He's always rooting for his pick above all else.
Thank you.
But he does have a warm and fuzzy part about the Dolphins more than he has any other team.
Of course I do. That does not indict me.
What's wrong
I grew
with that?
up
There's
down
nothing wrong
here.
with that.
I had a Dolphin pennant back when pennants were cloth and people had pennants on their wall. I had a Dolphins pennant when I was 8 years old.
Yep.
His readers want that.
Do you think that your husband is objective when it comes to the Miami Dolphins?
Yes, I do.
All right. There you go.
He is not a homer. You do not
objective fan.
You do not believe him to be a homer.
She was playing ball there.
Oh, no, he's a homer.
Thank you, Earleen.
No, I want to ask her something.
Okay, all right.
I want to ask her something.
This is not going to go well. Okay.
I don't.
It's your witness.
I don't travel
I
on
feel like I gave you a lot of points there.
No,
think
you
I was
didn't.
very
You took
helpful.
points away.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
no.
Okay, I don't travel much anymore. When the Dolphins are on the road and I'm watching the game at home and writing a column off it, Do you hear me cheering for the Dolphins?
No, you're not cheering. You got your little notebook and you're writing crap down.
Thank you.
But on the inside, perhaps you are.
No,
quietly, while you write crap down, while you wear the cloak of writing crap down, quietly, you're happy when Tua throws a touchdown
I
pass.
do have a cloak of writing things down.
Do you have anything else to ask your
cloak.
wife? So she's got a very busy job. She's got things to do.
No, she's betrayed me enough. Let her go.
Earleen, thank you. Always good catching up with you. Always nice seeing you. I've told your father this a few times recently, Chris, and for some reason, after all of these years, it doesn't change. I'm like, Greg, when you're angry, always funny.
Yeah.
Oh, when you're legitimately angry at us because everyone knows that we love you and you love us, always funny. But he wants to storm out of the room right now because his wife betrayed him, and he's going to have a stern talking to when she gets home. There's either going to be a talking to or a sternly worded letter because he might write it down. He's mad right now.
A sternly written letter? That's funny.
To his
I'm
wife.
actually penning a letter to my wife. How dare you? No, I'm much less mad at her than I am at you for simply, putting words in my mouth and saying I cheer for the Dolphins to win when I don't.
You are questioning something that is very important to Greg Cote. It's his journalistic credibility.
Right, which Mike understands,
right.
and others perhaps do, but Batard doesn't. And
It's
that
everything.
surprises and disappoints.
Well, Greg, the only thing I would say is in 2024, it's okay. You could be a columnist for the Herald and still root for the Dolphins. No one cares.
Right.
No
I
one
agree.
cares.
Yeah, but I do.
Okay. That's all that matters.
Well, he cares, though, and he's got it wrong. His appraisal's wrong, according to his wife.
She does not. First of all, she didn't say that I cheer for the Dolphins, which I don't.
Well, but you're making some sort of weird distinction that I didn't say. I said that you want them to win, not that you're making a lot of noise celebrating them and roaring with like applause and standing ovations, that you just want them to win.
Right, and you're flatly wrong.
You're okay, but your wife says I'm not.
No, she's wrong too.
What's happening here? It's not enough that you're ruining this man's career. Now you're trying to end his marriage.
Yeah, don't do that.
Let me tell you something I do that could also be misconstrued by you, and certainly would be. Okay, when I'm leaving, I'm leaving Dolphin Stadium after last Sunday's game, telling her I'm walking to my car, I'll be home in a half hour, whatever. The first thing, after the Dolphins win, I usually say to her some bullshit like, how about those Dolphins, huh? Why? Because I know she's a Dolphin fan.
Right.
Because I know her day was made brighter by them winning. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't. Particularly in the midst of this season.
Right.
Okay, now, if I am rooting for my own interest, if I have written, hey, don't count them out yet, they're going to win these next 3 games and get right back in the playoff race, and they win the second of those 3 games, makes me look decent. So, yeah, in that respect, I'm glad they won, because I'm rooting for what I wrote.
You're rooting for yourself to be right.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. And so in that respect, I'm rooting for the best column to write, which is, I told you don't count out the Dolphins.
This coming week, though, I mean, Drake May really finding his own. Imagine him getting a win within the division. That'd be a good story to write.
Yeah, they won't, though. They're going to beat New England.
Drake May, when you say he's finding his own, Billy, what does that mean? Finding his own?
He's coming around.
Something,
Time will tell.
Something you're throwing out there.
He's been pretty good.
Finding his own players downfield to throw to instead of the other team.
He's making that turn that Tony was talking about.
Okay, yeah, he's finding his own. You, Greg Cote, are somebody who spent all of last year telling us that the Dolphins were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And am I supposed to feel bad when they had the best offense in the NFL? Good enough to score 70 points in one game. Good enough for Tyreek Hill to make a run at 2,000 yards. Good enough for Tua to have to make the Pro Bowl. Good enough to have Raheem Mostert rush for 21 touchdowns. Yeah, I thought they were pretty damn good.
Doesn't sound like a homer at all.
It sounds like somebody who follows the Dolphins very, very closely.
Yeah.
Wrote the book on the Dolphins, some
did.
say.
Yeah.
One of them. All right, so
Out of stock, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You've written more books than fit on a Kindle.
How about that?
Billy, would you do me the favor, please, of calling up Greg Cote's column here today on new Marlins manager Clayton McCullough? Because I'd like to just have you read portions of his column that you probably haven't already read, because he's still out here grinding, writing about your team, the Marlins.
My team.
Yes,
I
that's
root
your
for the
team.
best story.
I will say this about Greg Cote, that he was here for 2 hours after the show yesterday prepping for that interview. So that is a good job by Greg. He cares about his listeners and his readers.
I do. Yes. He was here working because it's close to the stadium, and he didn't want to drive back to Fort Lauderdale and come back up.
I can't read it. There's a paywall. And I support Greg, just not
That's
financially.
not supporting Greg, and that is look at how disappointed.
No,
he
let me
is.
see if I can access it and forward it to Bill.
That's
promo code?
embarrassing. Surely
winging the mic away from you.
Surely we have a subscription to the Miami Herald here. Surely.
Oh, wait,
we
I
do.
just pushed the X and I think I bypassed
Yes.
it. Hold on a second.
That easy?
I don't know
Wow.
who their webmaster is, but that's
No
not
wonder
how
the
that should
business is
work.
tanking.
I promise you that somewhere at Meadowlark there is a Miami Herald subscription.
That'd be great. Thank you for your support.
You got to update this headshot.
Chris Cote and I were told by you yesterday that you intended, among other things, to go at Marlins fans, and I did not read that in today's
No,
column.
I didn't. That's, there's too much to get into one column. Perhaps that's for my opening day column. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, you're going to embargo it. Greg Cote was arguing that the few fans the Marlins do have need to start doing things actively to show their displeasure with the team, to pressure the team to do more than it is presently doing.
So
Yes.
don't go to the games.
Well, the displeasure of fans shows in the empty seats.
Right.
It shows that 2/3 of the seats,
Yes.
on average, are unoccupied. That's fans protesting. But if I were a Marlins fan, I would go to a game. I would make myself heard. I would wear a paper bag on my head. I would carry a sign that said, "Hey, Bruce Sherman, how about spending money to compete with the teams in the division that are among the biggest spenders in the
Very
league?"
long sign. It's a very long sign.
It is a long
Read.
sign.
It's a lot of words. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty wordy. You're right. It'd have to be small letters.
A
Nobody could see
tapestry
it.
from left field to right field. You
The whole paragraph. Ridiculous.
Maybe we go shirtless and we write each letter on someone's stomach and we get like
Yeah, there you go. There'd be
more
plenty of
people,
empty
yeah.
seats.
hundreds of people.
Yeah, there'd be plenty of seats for that. We could do it.
Attendance record there.
Billy, have you found the juiciest parts?
I'm by paragraph 2. I'm a slow reader.
Okay, the juiciest parts. What was the proudest part of your column today for you when you typed it up? The beginning, the middle, or the end?
I would stand by whatever the first 5 paragraphs.
Okay.
I'm not going to take a quiz.
All right, so you stand by your writing in the Miami Herald today.
Well, I'm looking at it now. I don't memorize everything I write.
Questioned his sanity in the second paragraph, and then said, "I'm not questioning it, though."
Mm-hmm. That's well done, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you do this as an audiobook, as a little bit of like
read it for us?
A little bit of
I can
Kindle,
read it. I don't care.
A little Kindle-ish.
You want me to?
Yes, please.
Welcome to Miami, Clayton McCullough. We're about 2,340 miles southeast of L.A., down here in the baseball hinterlands. You've left the safety of your job as first base coach of the World Series champion Dodgers, left the very mountaintop of your sport to climb down to manage the Marlins. Some might question your sanity for this move. Not me. I say you deserve credit for bravery, perhaps even a medal. I wish you all of the luck you will need. You come from an L.A. market where Dodgers led MLB in attendance last year, averaging 48,000 fans per game. You come to a Miami market whose Marlins struggled to even sell out opening day and who finished 29th of 30 with an average gate of 13,000. Bright side, outdrew the A's, who have been alienating Oakland for years, itching to leave. You are leaving a rich Dodgers ownership that had the 5th-ranked $240 million payroll last year for a penurious Marlins ownership whose $97 million payroll ranked 27th. And Mr. McCullough.
May I slow you down
Yeah,
just
go
because
ahead.
you sound like you're going very fast. You're getting a little winded.
It's a very good column, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're going from the best team in the sport to one of the worst.
Right.
Now, when do we get
Okay.
to the ripping?
And Mr. McCullough, you are leaving a city that loves its Dodgers for a city where the Marlins are the 6th biggest team in town, where baseball has become an afterthought dwarfed by the Dolphins, resurgent Hurricanes football, the Heat, the Stanley Cup champion Panthers, and Lionel Messi in Inter Miami. Love a challenge, Clayton? You got one. And I go from there.
I didn't realize that was so. He had me counting on my fingers right now. They are the 6th most relevant team in town. That caught me off guard just hearing it like that, and he's not wrong in any way.
That is such a good job by you, Greg, because you say that some might question your sanity. But I'm not one of them. I call you brave.
I don't know. I've been to men's and women's hoops games in the last couple of years, and I've been to Cyclones games. Oh, wow. I would probably put the vibes, energy, and attendance of those three teams over the Marlins, too.
Wow. I think the argument, women's basketball doesn't draw very well,
There were a lot of people at the Notre Dame Miami game that I went to.
Okay.
And it was like
Mike,
the day after Christmas,
correct
too.
me if I'm wrong.
We got FIU tonight.
Okay. All right.
The conference games get good attendance, right, Mike?
The conference games get all right. They're still growing. Hey, number 5 recruiting class, top 5 recruiting class in the nation. Coach Trish. I think Haley Cavender, this is a shocking take, is the greatest passer in the history of that program, men's or women's.
Whoa.
That's a little crazy.
Rick Barry?
Rick Barry. You're forgetting the Rick Barry days. Yeah. How dare you?
I wasn't there in attendance to watch Rick Barry command the court, but I don't think he had the same court vision.
How about Barry Larkin's kid? I mean,
Shane Larkin.
Shane Larkin. Yes.
No, I did this in my Canes group chat just to see if I could get a rise out of folks and see what kind of names they would come back at me with, which did make me laugh. I would say Angel Rodriguez. Okay, you're in the class.
Okay,
you have a case against it, but I think Haley's court vision's unbelievable. She's really developed as a player. She had a 30-point game against Florida on the road. The Cavender twins are actually really damn good. Haley was good the last go-around, but they've improved from that year off playing the sport. And Miami basketball's got a shot to build on the momentum of that Elite Eight. They unjustly missed the tournament last year. It really killed Katie Meyer's passion for the sport, but new coach in and recruiting at a high level, Miami's very well positioned there. Come on out tonight, Watsco, FIU.
Now that's a homer.
Unabashed, which I like.
Season's greetings, podcast audience. It's Mike Ryan, and now is that time of year where you start hosting your family gatherings, be it Thanksgiving, be it the upcoming holiday season. You're going to have some folks in town. You're going to be doing some entertaining. So why don't you make your family time a Miller time? It's the first thing that I roll out when I got guests over at the house, an ice-cold bucket filled with that beautiful white can. See, Miller time makes family time all the more special because, for one thing, it's got taste that you can depend on. No games, no gimmicks, just a great beer for people who like beer. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. It's got simple ingredients like malted barley for rich, balanced toffee note flavors and an iconic golden color. And at just 96 calories and 3.2 grams of carbs per 12 ounces, Miller Time is always a good time, even during the festive times. Making memories at year-end gatherings tastes like Miller Time. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Don Batard.
Quiet man. I'm a married man. I don't cheat on my wife, despite that gratuitous line back in my day.
Wrote. Stugotz.
I wish you were here, my wife. I really miss her. No, I don't. That's the thing about being married. You're not allowed to say, I don't miss my wife. I've been gone 2 days. I haven't been gone long enough to miss my wife. I'm sorry. I call her. I'm on the phone with her for 30 seconds. What am I? Hello. All right. We'll see ya. All right. And then, I'm going to see her in 2 days. How's Jumpin' Charlie? Good.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Dianna Russini is going to join us now to talk a little bit of football, and we have a surprise for her toward the end of this interview. But as she gets situated here, I just wanted to bring it back to what it is that Greg Cote was saying about the Dodgers and the juxtaposition against the Marlins. The Dodgers are meeting Juan Soto today, and the Dodgers, this is unbelievable what I'm about to say. The Dodgers made so much money off of Ohtani that their financial advantages are going to be even greater than they were before when they merely had the best regional television deal. And they've got all of the good players. I mean, it's just asinine to have Ohtani and Freeman and Betts in the middle of the same lineup. Got to the World Series even though everyone else around them was hurt. Got to the World Series with Freeman limping, because a third of their lineup is those three guys, and they're meeting with Soto, and Soto wants $600 million. And the Dodgers are the new Yankees. Like, it's just crazy to think that they gave that amount of money to Ohtani and his deal was so team-friendly, Stugotz, because it's all on the back end, that they can get everybody. They can get everybody in the sport. They can steal the Yankees' best free agent, and that meeting is today. I've heard that Toronto wants in the game. That feels all manufactured by Scott Boras.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Toronto.
Yeah.
But they're going to be multiple teams. And you only need one. But if you've got two, and you got Scott Boras, and two of them are the Yankees and Dodgers.
And one of them's the Mets, a third team. I mean, he's fine without Toronto.
The idea that the Dodgers could land Soto should scare everybody who cares about the competitive balance of baseball, because then the only thing that you have in your favor is the idea that baseball is random. But everyone else will have to bow before the biggest payroll in the sport, where not even the Yankees can compete with the Dodgers in payroll. Dianna Russini is with us now, and there are a number of football things that I want to talk to her about. Thank you for joining us, Dianna. Scoop City is the name of her podcast. But the Detroit Lions, are they simply better than everybody else?
Yeah, they are. They are from top to bottom. And it's not like this happened overnight. They've been building towards this. This was the vision they had when they hired Brad Holmes and they brought in Dan Campbell, and ownership said, look, we're not good. We're not good at all. We don't even know what we are. Fix us, make us better. And now we're seeing this team believe and buy into what the program's all about. And, you know, we've heard Jared Goff talk about it in a lot of his post-game press conferences about the trust they have with Campbell. And I really think that's been a big part of why this team has been able to have so much success. They've captured sort of this unified idea of what they are. And it's very, very clear. And even just talking to teams around the league preparing to face the Detroit Lions, this is a team that starts where all good football teams start, which is in the trenches. And they've got one of the most impressive, if not the best offensive line in football. And that's why we're seeing so much success, on top of the fact that they got some great skill players and a really stout defense. You don't expect Belichick to be on the sideline this year, correct? I do. I expect Bill Belichick to get a job in 2025. He's certainly getting ready for it. No. Do you expect to see him on a sideline this year? No. I think Bill is preparing for what the next cycle is going to bring him and the opportunities that I think he's going to have. He's obviously entrenched in this in the media right now and doing that, but I don't see a scenario where, you know, let's just, for this example, just an example, let's just say Jerry Jones wakes up today and says, all right, I'm done with this Mike McCarthy situation. Let's get ahead of it and get Bill in here now before, let's say, the Jags or maybe the Saints or, you know, a team that would want someone like a Bill Belichick. You know, I don't imagine that. This coaching cycle is moving right now. I can tell you that from talking to people behind the scenes. This is different than it's been in years past. Usually I've talked to you guys, you know, around Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, early December. There's chit chat about it. There's talk. But there are definitely conversations being had around the league about what's next. And the top candidates appear to be Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, Aaron Glenn in Detroit, Ben Johnson in Detroit. And those seem to be the names for right now. That's all going to change as we get through the next few weeks. But those seem to be the guys that teams have their eye on. How real do you think the Deion Sanders stuff to Dallas is? It's not real. Really? Just from the conversations I've had. I think Deion actually wants to stay in college. We'll start there. I know he's been public about that as well. But talking to some people close to him, they've shared with me that he likes where he's at. He likes the space he's in. That could change. Of course it could change. But in terms of Dallas, I don't think that that's a realistic option for them. I think that they're going to be looking more towards a coach with experience in the league and not do a first-time head coach scenario. I don't think they're against that idea of a former player turned head coach. I just don't believe that that's the direction that they're going to go in for now.
Can you give me your assessment of this assessment earlier of Greg Cote's about the Houston Texans?
I think they're a good team that is very, 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 very far from being a great team.
That's unfair.
That's ridiculous. I did not say that.
I was asking for her assessment, not your assessments. Let's play it again, please, so that she can hear it clearly without Greg Cote's objection.
I think they're a good team that is very, 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 very far from being a great team. I didn't say that.
Will you
play it again?
Play it again, please, so that she can hear it without him contaminating the jury.
I think they're a good team that is very, 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 very far from being a great team.
Look, I would subtract 10 varies.
Oh, there you go.
10.
10 of them.
That leaves none. I mean,
there's none. I think they're a really good team. I'm in agreement that they have some issues, that they need to be better in some areas. They're not always the smartest football team out there, and they certainly are not playing up to, I think, the standard of what we thought they would be at this point this year. But they're figuring it out. And I still think they're going to be a team we're talking about in January.
The actual argument we were having was me suggesting that in a very crowded AFC.
Very, very crowded.
In a very crowded AFC, Houston was not a top 4 team. And I'm wondering, if you put Detroit in the Super Bowl, who in the AFC is going to play them for the championship? Because I think it's wide open conference.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's as wide open as maybe you think it is. I think it's the teams that we saw play, which were the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs we saw this weekend. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers are making a case here. Look, I still think in the end, it's going to be Kansas City that we see back in the Super Bowl.
What are you making faces about, Chris Cote?
No, I thought Diana was having technical issues there for a second. I didn't know.
So you were confused by her cadence and her delivery?
You were worried
that she was falling apart because
she was startled by the amount of berries your dad
was she distracted? Were you unimpressed by the way that she delivered that? Did you think she wasn't paying attention? You seem like you were judging her content.
You know, when I'm in this seat, there's a lot of things moving. I was just assessing different things. We might have someone joining the Zoom. Thank you for calling all the attention to me.
Okay, good. Well,
Chris, thanks for having my back, actually, because he's right. I was fumbling there, like I usually do on this show, because there's something always distracting me, whether it's a noise, a person, a sound effect. Visually, things are going dark on me from what I can see on my screen. So I'm just trying to fight through it. You guys are really testing me every week. You're making me better at this whole live thing.
Yeah, we're crazy. Aaron Rodgers, will he be back next season? And if so, will it be with the Jets?
I don't know. I don't think the Jets know if they want him back, and I don't know if Aaron Rodgers knows if he wants to. I just think his options aren't going to be what they were. The New York Jets signed up for an MVP caliber quarterback.
Yep.
They did not get an MVP caliber quarterback. That is not what we've gotten on, we'll just say in this last year. Last year is a wash. So I still think the next few games here are going to be really important for the Jets organization in terms of what they want to do next at quarterback. But I can tell you that I don't think it's a lock that these guys come back together next year. Does that make you like that answer, Stu? Do you want Aaron Rodgers back?
I'm ready to move on.
You are?
Yeah, I am. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a disappointment. The guy they wanted was the guy they thought they were getting, that, high-level great quarterback, was supposed to be last season, and he tore his Achilles 4 plays in, and now he's just a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles tear, and I've seen enough. I don't want him anymore.
Okay, but do you think this is a scenario where, let's say he goes to the Vikings next year?
They'll win the Super Bowl.
Browns.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
And then you get exactly. You get the soupy, the hemorrhoid. Many more of those to come. Why was I hammered? The hemorrhoid. Friday morning, I guess. Every day of the week, actually, lately.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the Chargers are? Because I feel like everyone here wants to question how good they are, and they've been the best defense in the sport. And if I give that quarterback the best defense in the sport, I feel like I've got a pretty good football team.
Yeah, you give that head coach all of that as well. They're underrated. They are underrated. My co-host on Scoop City Chase, if he could do the whole show talking about the Chargers, I think he would. just because the impact that Jim has had already on everyone and bringing out the best in Justin Herbert. He's kind of always just been in his shell. He's a little shy. He hasn't really leaned into all of what comes with being a franchise quarterback. And I think Jim has found a way to take all the shine and spotlight off the quarterback and put it on himself to allow that quarterback to get comfortable. And he's doing it with weapons that, with all due respect, these aren't top-notch, big-name receivers. He lost those guys last year. They're playing for different teams in Pittsburgh and in Chicago now. So the fact that they've been able in just a few months with Jim Harbaugh now taking control of the Chargers organization, the Chargers that used to charger, I think they're chargering less. I think they're maybe changing the narrative of that organization, and it starts from the top and bringing him in.
How many times this season alone has your husband fired Nick Sirianni?
17.
What?
We're still in. Here's how I see it. If we're not leading the conversation when we're discussing the Eagles with Nick, that means things are going well, right? Like that's kind of how it is. And right now we're not talking about him a lot in our house, which is good. And I think Sirianni's been doing a really good job too, even publicly. He's really toned it down. He's hiding his emotions. He looks in control. I still think he's on a short leash in terms of the Eagles wanting to see if he can take them to the Super Bowl. I think they are watching this.
But he did it already.
He's done it already. I know. And you look at his winning percentages, and he has like the highest in the last 20 years for an Eagles team. Like you cannot argue the success Nick Sirianni has had, but it's just a situation where you think, all right, he's doing this with a championship caliber roster. Ownership knows that. The general manager knows that. Is this going to come down to a situation later on in December, January, where they're going to lose a game because of Nick? I don't know. And I don't think that's off the table. I think we've all thought of it, is this guy going to cost the Eagles? So for now, the vibes are high, though.
Hey, podcasters, it's Mike Ryan, and let me tell you something. The NBA's got a lot going for it right now. Bright young stars hitting the court, teams playing exciting brands of basketball, and celebrities everywhere you look courtside. It's no wonder why tickets are in demand. Let me tell you about my favorite on the secondary ticket marketplace, and that is Game Time, and their amazing new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With Game Time Picks, it helps make curation easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, whatever else tickles your fancy. Also, they've got all-in pricing. This feature is huge. Push of a button, you get no surprises at checkout, you know exactly what to budget for. You get panoramic seat views, and of course, Game Time's lowest price guarantee, where Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find a better price out there. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.
The Emirates NBA Cup is here, and you can win big by getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Will LA repeat? We'll find out. There's sure to be rim-rattling slams and no-look passes that bring the crowd to their feet. Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. New DraftKings customers bet just $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN, that's code DAN, D-A-N, for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Don Le Batard.
You have some hot takes today. Joe Chestnut's a fraud.
He's on fire.
He called
Joseph
Connor
Chestnut.
McDavid overrated before the show.
What the hell was that, Greg?
Yeah, no,
I love it.
Stugotz.
Roy, let me explain it to you. And not that you know more about hockey.
And this
than
is
I do.
coming from a guy that's watched Connor play 6 times.
Right.
If that.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Derrick Henry, Saquon, Joe Mixon last night. Are we seeing a running back renaissance that's going to continue in the NFL?
Look, you look at Tony Pollard too. That's what I saw last night in terms. Tony Pollard wasn't out there, obviously. He used to play with the Cowboys, and now he's with the Titans, and he's one of the Titans' best players. I know we talk a lot about that Derrick Henry move that the Dallas Cowboys didn't make. Letting Tony Pollard go, to me, was, I think, the bigger issue that they have, because they could certainly use him now in the run game. I think running backs went out of style for a minute there because of the way they were getting paid. But now with the emergence of Saquon again playing the best football he's ever played since he's been a pro, Derrick Henry looking like he's 23, I think they've helped their market. I think this is going to be an offseason. When we're talking free agency here on this show, we're not going to be doing what we did a few years ago, which was, oh man, nobody wants to pay this guy. I think now teams know the run game.
I want to see more of that impersonation. Who is that? What is happening with that person?
Which general manager in football stands there like this? Like, I'm not paying him. I'm not doing that. Nobody's doing it.
I don't understand.
I'd like it.
I don't understand why you did it that way. I was confused.
I don't know these voices, because here, for me to live in the space I live in with dealing with people in this league, I have to imagine them as these like cartoon characters. They're not human beings, because if they're human beings, then I handle my business differently. So they're these characters. So that's what I just imagine Trent Baalke just doing this and making calls. It's like my way of not liking them, I guess. Keep them far away from me.
What did you read here interesting about Bills Chiefs?
What did I learn about Bills Chiefs?
Just anyone saying anything interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of coverage of Bills Chiefs, a lot of people making assessments of Josh Allen was better on this fourth down play, and then therefore I think this, and this. What were the things that were interesting to you about Bills Chiefs? Because Stugotz was doing something that a lot of people were doing after that game. The Chiefs are like, okay, you can have that one. We'll let you have one during the regular season.
The Chiefs are laughing at him.
We'll see you guys in the playoffs as if the Chiefs are that good this year, which they're not. I don't think they're as good. I don't think they're as good as the Bills this year.
The Chiefs are winning on defense again and special teams, right? Their offense is not as good as they should be at this point. And it's funny, you look at the Bills and Josh Allen is doing what Patrick Mahomes was doing a few years ago when he didn't have any weapons, right? It's like they flip-flopped. And now Patrick's got choices and options and players to throw to. And Josh is making magic out of nothing and carrying this team on his own shoulders as we saw. So, yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are sitting there going, that's a gimme, just take it. We'll see you in the playoffs. I think the Bills are better than anyone expected, and they're riding this momentum.
What do you make of what it is the Giants did with Daniel Jones?
I don't think it was as easy as a decision as it probably appears. It had to happen. No one was shocked that they benched Daniel Jones. I know I talked to you guys last week, and aggregators picked it all up and took my words of, hey, I know there's conversations being had right now about what they want to do. There is an option of maybe sticking with Daniel a few more weeks because I knew of the quarterback situations as the backups, perhaps maybe not being ready. But obviously they chose the smart business decision for the New York Giants, right? Which is to bench Daniel Jones, knowing that they've got this injury guarantee that they would have to deal with. And so, you know, the book is closed on Daniel Jones in New York, and we'll see if he'll be able to find another team and pull off a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold situation where maybe a different environment, a new place will be better for him.
I think
and now it's Tommy DeVito.
I think you just said
That's
their
right,
backup.
Tommy DeVito, baby.
There it is. Sean Stellato is with us. The agent for Tommy DeVito is with us. What did you think of her assessments that the backups weren't looking up to snuff? What is this woman talking about?
Hey, she knows what she's talking about. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and she's been doing it a long time. But I guess we'll see. We're excited for the opportunity. And look, it's a parity-driven league, and you know, there's guys that are second and third stringers that sometimes they get an opportunity. The rest is history. But we're excited for that opportunity, and the goal is to win football games and be employed there for a long time.
I believe that you were just gentle with her because the Italians stick together. I believe is what's happening there.
Italians cutting it up.
We do. I am a girl dad, and you're right. The Italians do stick together.
We stick together. I have never met Sean, guys. Full disclosure, I've never even reached out to him, which is bad business by me as a journalist covering this league. He's a top dog in this game as an agent. I think I have a problem with Sean because I've dated like 65 Seans. In my life, and he just looking at him right now, I'm feeling all these different emotions. This is Sean is home to me. That's what it is. Sean is home. So
Dianna,
the fact that you guys are bringing us together.
It's the thing where it's like the guy you dated, but he also reminds you of all your cousins, right?
Correct, which is very awkward and weird, but at the same time, I can't help but root for him. And I just, Sean, I love everything you're doing. I love everything you're about. And I love how much you just lean into all of it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. I was named after Sean Connery, so my mother loves Sean Connery, which is kind of cool. But grandparents are from Calabria, Italy, which Dito say, where's your family from?
My family's from Sicily, but they will tell you we're just from the Bronx. That's what they say. Yeah. So Italy doesn't really matter to them. Little Italy matters to them.
Yes, Little Italy's a beautiful place. I'm actually going to be lighting the tree down Little Italy, Boston next Monday. I'm excited about.
Of course you are. Congratulations, by the way, on getting inducted in the Italian Sports Hall of Fame. I don't know how one gets into that, but if you could maybe call someone, I would love to have some achievement in my life because I've been taking a lot of L's lately, and I want to add something to my Twitter bio that seems interesting because I've got nothing going on right now, Sean.
Well, I got a guy I think you could call. You might need an agent. Sounds good.
Selling himself.
I think I want to fire my agent right now and hire Sean.
How does this one work? What is the answer to her question when she asks, how do you get in there? Because she made it sound like it was the Soho House where you got to get somebody to nominate you in order to get in. How does this...
I think there definitely a nomination process, but this organization's been the Hall since 1977. Some of the greats that are enshrined there in Montana and DiMaggio and Joe Montana, who else? Dan Marino, Rocky Marciano. So I know there's some very reputable female, inductees as well. But definitely off air could look into it for you.
Tommy's ready. Tommy's ready, right? You got the endorsements ready?
Yeah, Tommy is ready. Obviously, look at you they got a close quarterback room, and you always want to see your teammates do well. Sometimes things got to get changed up, but he's prepared his whole life for this moment. He prepared last year going undrafted, getting the Heisman by 28 teams, and went out there and got the opportunities. We feel made the most out of it. He's a different animal than he was 12 months ago. He's really put a big premium on the offseason and continuing to develop. And he loves his coach. He loves his teammates. He loves his fans. And excited for Sunday. Weather's going to be great, and we're very fortunate for this opportunity.
So what kind of animal is he now?
What kind of animal was he? What kind of animal is he now? Last year he was what kind of animal?
Last year he was I would say he was a unique animal in terms of, the cutlet thing. Now I think he's just a better version of the cutlet. Wow. He's
a stallion. Sean. He's a stallion now. That's what he is.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. I literally just handed out about 500 boxes of turkeys to the needy out in Jersey, and so I apologize about the attire. I know you probably want to see a better drip, but
no, it's a good drip. No, it's a good drip. I wasn't expecting you in a suit.
Yeah, no suit today. I wore a suit last night on a meeting. I got to wear a suit in a few hours, so it feels good to be in a little leisure wear.
Good to see you, Sean. Good to see you, Dianna. Thank you for being on with us. As Stugotz said, a couple of Italians cutting it up. Thank you.
Sean, get her in the Hall of Fame. Let's go.
Okay. Without a doubt, Dianna. I look forward to connecting offline. All right. Continued success. If you're there Sunday, definitely say hello. And Stugotz, I appreciate the love, and you guys be well. If I don't talk to you, have a very, very happy Thanksgiving.
All right,
That's nice, Sean. Man. Thank you so much. It'll be very difficult to spot you at the stadium, but I'll find a way to get to you.
You know what? I was asked that funny. I want to share this real quick. I was at the Bills game, and my client got me a parking pass, and the guy's like, "How did you get back there?" I said, "Well, they dropped me through a helicopter, and I landed in my car." And he looked at me like I had 5 heads. He's like, "Really?" I was like, "No." Anyway, ciao, guys. Be well. God bless.
Ciao.
Hey, podcasters, it's Mike Ryan, and let me tell you something. The NBA's got a lot going for it right now. Bright young stars hitting the court, teams playing exciting brands of basketball, and celebrities everywhere you look courtside. It's no wonder why tickets are in demand. Let me tell you about my favorite on the secondary ticket marketplace, and that is Game Time, and their amazing new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With Game Time Picks, it helps make curation easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, whatever else tickles your fancy. Also, they've got all-in pricing. This feature is huge. Push of a button, you get no surprises at checkout, you know exactly what to budget for. You get panoramic seat views, and of course, Game Time's lowest price guarantee, where Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find a better price out there. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's Game Time.
Stugotz here for my friends over at Simply Safe. The holiday season is right around the corner. That means you're away more, and burglars know it. That means you need to protect your home. Right now, Simply Safe is giving exclusive early access to its Black Friday sale to Batard Show listeners. Simply Safe is the home security I trust to keep my home and family safe. Simply Safe is a new way to protect your home that stops intruders before they break into your home. Old school systems only take action once someone is already inside your home. That's too late. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection changes the game by preventing crime before it even happens. If someone's lurking around or acting suspiciously, those agents see them in real time, talk to them directly, set off your spotlight, and even call the police before they've had a chance to break in. Simply Safe is offering my listeners exclusive early access to their Black Friday sale. This week only, you can take 60% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is their best offer of the year. Head to simplysafe.com/DLB to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this holiday season. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.